Nikunj, given the fact that we're constantly comparing and drawing parallels with what's going on across the globe, we managed to snap that 7-session losing streak. Where is it that we stand?
See, I think it's pretty much more of same what we discussed in terms of a trend where US markets are topping out and Indian markets are bottoming out. And I think that really may be the trend where you may not see a exciting move, at least in India, either which way. If at all, there is this view which now the world seems to be taking that the crisis or the war between Russia and Ukraine perhaps could come to an end. That is something which, of course, is more of a tailwind. It is geopolitical tensions are never a headwind for the markets. That is something which really becomes a talking point. So I look at the setup in the following manner, which is the Trump comeback trade in America seems to be pausing. China comeback trade is passe now. Correction in India seems to be stalling, and the real tailwind now really could start coming from geopolitical front. As we look into the market right now, I don't think this market has, or bulls have enough and more energy or ammunition to really engineer a V-shaped rally. The best outcome is that we start spending some time and we enter into a patch of low volatility, which I think would be there at the index level and which I think is been seen. These are not the markets where you want to go short on. These are the markets where you really want to start, if at all, start planning for your next, you start planning for your portfolio investments. I don't think this is a market which is a great market to trade because the moves are going to be so narrow that by the time you actually figure those moves, the trends may start, petering away. So it's a dull market. It could be a boring market. You should never short a dull and a boring market, and you should never really try and pick up pockets of momentum in a very boring market. The strategy in this market is that you wait out and you will get your bad patches. For example, you got some bad patches in consumer names, in banks 8-10 days ago. You're getting some good bargains right now in some of the auto stocks. That's the time you really need to look and say, okay, this market patch, how can I take advantage in terms of stocks? And in terms of a trend, I think the trend is very clear. The US market is topping out, Indian markets are bottoming out, China comeback trade is history.
Yeah, absolutely. Although it was a little disappointing the way the markets traded on Tuesday, given the fact that while we did manage to end our losing streak, we did lose all of those intraday gains as well and closed in just about absolutely flat. By the way, the India VIX also surged about 2.65%, and we're now trading at that 15-17 kind of level. It is the PSU banks and energy as a pack which did drag the markets down. And, one is wondering really what the texture of the market is going to be. Should we head in for a meaningful comeback or at least consolidation for the market?
Consolidation is the best outcome, and you want markets to consolidate because a lot has actually been thrown at markets of late. Too much of election news, multiple IPOs, downgrades after downgrades in terms of what the earning outlook has been. I look at November end to December slightly different from what we've seen in September and October. Our last couple of months have been centered around election news. Last 45 days have been centered around earnings disappointment, and last 6 months also have been really focused on IPOs. Next 45 days, a lot of those factors will start normalizing. And if one works with an assumption that sooner than later the US market will also show signs of topping out because they're extremely overbought, that means that you may actually see a last hurrah in the market. Now the hurrah may not be a classic hurrah like a Santa Claus rally or a Merry Christmas rally. I think the last hurrah really could be that you will see a mild recovery in benchmark indices, a meaningful comeback in some of the beaten down mid and small cap stocks, and perhaps some consolidation also in some of the large cap names.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.